WWE accidentally reveals major Roman Reigns spoiler for SummerSlam, Seth Rollins on Dominic Mysterio becoming a major heel in WWE. Why is Dominic Mysterio allowed to keep his first WWE singles title while Solo Sikoa was forced to vacate it? Popular Raw star to cost Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Alexa Bliss reveals her baby's gender. Is Liv Morgan's injury real or fake? Seth Rollins discloses why Vince McMahon altered his current WWE theme song. Let's jump right into it. Dominic Mysterio's title win causes awkward betrayal. On the latest episode of NXT, Dominic Mysterio collided with Wes Lee for the North American Championship in the main event of the show. The two stars started the match with a lockup and headlock. They took Dom down with a dropkick, forcing the latter to retreat and recoup at ringside. After the commercial break, the Judgment Day member went for the three amigos, but he was unable to perform the third one. After sending his opponent into the ropes, he hit him with a 619, followed by a Michinoku driver for a 2 count. The challenger then went for a frog splash, but the champion got out of the way. The two stars exchanged blows in the ring, and Dominic Mysterio dropped Wes Lee onto the mat with a vicious slam, which also got a 2 count. Lee managed to fight back and hit his opponent with multiple strikes. He then delivered an enziguri followed by a tornado DDT, forcing Dom to retreat again. The latter tried to run away with the North American title, but Wes Lee took him out with a suicide dive. Finn Balor came out and distracted the referee while Damian Priest tried to hit Lee with a Money in the Bank briefcase. However, Lee avoided it and took out Priest with a cardiac kick. Rhea Ripley hit Wes Lee in the face with her title, knocking out the champion. Dominic Mysterio then pinned Wes Lee to become the new NXT North American champion, thanks to the Eradicator's interference. What are your thoughts on Dominic Mysterio winning the title? Sound off in the comments section below. Dominic Mysterio scored the biggest win of his career when he bested Wes Lee for the North American Championship on the July 18, 2023 episode of NXT. Dom, however, might have inadvertently sowed the seeds for Judgment Day's implosion with his stunning victory. Here's how all of this could go down. Dominic Mysterio is one of the 2 members of the Judgment Day to hold a WWE title. Finn Balor could bring the World Heavyweight Championship to the faction at SummerSlam. However, a failed attempt might cause Damian Priest to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Seth Rollins. That means fans might witness 3 out of 4 members of the Judgment Day as champions at the biggest party of the summer, leading them to call out Balor as the group's weakest link. Damian, Rhea, and Dominic could see this as an excuse to kick Finn out of the group, turning him face in the process. Another possible scenario could see Finn Balor replaced with JD McDonough in the Judgment Day. WWE has already teased the Irish Ace's potential inclusion in the faction. The two stars are no strangers to each other. In fact, Balor taught McDonough the ropes before the former NXT Cruiserweight champion eventually made his way to WWE. Dominic Mysterio triumphed in his first title match on NXT this week. The young star ended Wes Lee's incredible North American Championship reign in shocking fashion. The new champion will have his first title defense against Mustafa Ali at NXT, the Great American Bash 2023. Fans can expect Dom and Rhea, if not all of the Judgment Day, to show up on NXT during the build-up to the July 30th premium live event. Shawn Michaels did tease the duo's future appearances during an exclusive interview with Sportskeeda. The Judgment Day first showed up together on the July 11, 2023 episode of NXT. It remains to be seen if the faction will appear together next week on the white and gold brand. Seth Rollins on Dominic Mysterio becoming a major heel in WWE. Seth Rollins commented on Dominic Mysterio's heel run in WWE. He also explained why it makes sense for the latter to be a bad guy instead of a babyface. The Judgment Day member turned heel for the first time in his career at Clash at the Castle last year, where he attacked Edge and his own father, Rey Mysterio. Since then, he's been heavily booed by the crowd, and it gets even worse when he tries to cut a promo. Dirty Dom is undoubtedly one of the biggest heels in wrestling right now, and he's very good at his role. During a recent interview with Logan Paul on his Impulsive podcast, Seth Rollins said he knew Dominic Mysterio would be a major heel because he's not built to be a face. I was sitting in a live event not long ago when Dominic Mysterio, was getting booed just out of the building, and one of our producers, Hurricane Helms, was sitting there with me, and he's like, if you would have told me 6 months ago he's gonna be a top heel in the business, would you believe it? And I was like, yes, that's the visionary part. I could see this coming because he's not built to be a babyface, said Rollins. He added, he's Rey Mysterio's kid. Same thing, people think he's getting handed everything, being Rey's kid, and it's so easy to want to hate nepotistic jerks, right? People digging off their family name, it's easy to hate that, and I'm like, they're gonna love him at first, but eventually it's all gonna come back around. The Visionary is one of the top babyfaces and the main champion on Raw. A member of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, won Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. This feud is based on what happened at SummerSlam 2016, which saw the Prince sustain an injury that kept him sidelined for numerous months, leading him to vacate the Universal title. Finn Balor wants to destroy and dethrone Seth Rollins at the biggest party of the summer next month. He's not the only Judgment Day member that Seth Rollins has to worry about, as Damian Priest currently holds the Money in the Bank contract, which he can cash in at any time. Would you like to see Finn as the next world champion? Sound off in the comments below. Why is Dominic Mysterio allowed to keep his first WWE singles title while Solo Sikoa was forced to vacate it? Dominic Mysterio scored a huge upset and won his first singles WWE title. The Judgment Day star defeated Wes Lee for the NXT North American Championship on the latest episode of the White and Gold brand. Dom's shocking win reminded fans of a certain episode of NXT that saw Solo Sikoa defeat Carmelo Hayes for the same title. The Street Champion, however, was stripped off the title by Shawn Michaels himself. A fan took to Twitter after Dominic Mysterio's win and wondered why WWE allowed Dom to keep his title but gave an entirely different treatment to Solo Sikoa. The answer is simple. Solo was not a sanctioned participant in his match against Melo. The full tweet states, "It is worth noting that Solo did bring the North American Championship with him to SmackDown on September 16, 2022. The enforcer of the Bloodline flaunted his title during an in-ring segment with the Bloodline that night. It was the only time the WWE Universe witnessed 7 titles in possession of the faction on television." Dominic celebrated with the Judgment Day after successfully ending Wes Lee's North American Championship run on the main event of NXT this week. Dom pinned Lee after the defending champion was taken out by Rhea Ripley with her world title belt. The young star will have his first title defense against Mustafa Ali at the Great American Bash 2023. The latter was initially set to face Wes Lee for the title, but since he lost the match, Dom automatically replaced him. NXT. The Great American Bash emanates from the HEB Center at Cedar Park TX on July 30, 2023. Popular Raw star to cost Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins will collide with Finn Balor in a rematch 7 years in the making for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Rollins already bested Balor at Money in the Bank, but with the Judgment Day stronger than ever, it'll be interesting to see how the match pans out. However, Judgment Day isn't the only obstacle in the Visionary's course, as a familiar foe could cost him big time at SummerSlam. The World Heavyweight Champion appeared on the latest edition of the Impulsive podcast. The host, Logan Paul, had a friendly yet stern warning for his former foe, stating that he wanted the title around Rollins' waist. "I'll also be honest with you. You have something that I like currently, and that's the World Heavyweight Championship," Paul said. Before he hopes to win the world title, Paul has to deal with Ricochet, whom he is rumored to battle at the biggest party of the summer. However, he could have a much more eventful evening. The 28-year-old YouTuber requested the first SummerSlam card match this year. Paul wants to support Jake Paul in his fight against Nate Diaz on the same night in Dallas. He figured he could do so if he fought Ricochet in the opening bout at Ford Field. However, this could be a convenient ploy to throw Seth Rollins off his game. We know that Paul wants to fight Rollins again, ideally for the World Heavyweight Championship. Costing the Visionary his belt seems counterintuitive to his goal, but it would be an excellent way to stick it to his WrestleMania 39 opponent. There is also precedent because the influencer costs Seth Rollins the US title at Elimination Chamber, suggesting that he values personal grudges more than championship gold. Considering his part-time schedule and potential fan backlash, WWE would not be willing to make the Maverick World Heavyweight Champion. Instead, another rerun of his program with Seth Rollins seems more likely. Finn Balor and Logan Paul aren't the only threats to Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. The formidable and ever-dominant Damian Priest is also looming in the background with the Money in the Bank contract. Mr. Money in the Bank has already attempted to cash in on the Visionary before and is waiting for the right time to strike again. In 2016, Dean Ambrose cashed in on Rollins to win the World Championship. Thus, the Visionary is not immune from such incidences. One way or another, SummerSlam might be a nightmare for Seth freaking Rollins. Alexa Bliss reveals her baby's gender. WWE superstar Alexa Bliss and American musician Rand Cabrera have finally revealed the gender of their baby. Back in May, Bliss and Cabrera revealed they were having a baby. She has been keeping fans updated since then with occasional baby bump pictures. On Entertainment Tonight, Alexa Bliss and Cabrera announced that the happy couple is having a baby girl. Little Miss Bliss began dating Cabrera in early 2020. On April 9, 2022, the couple got married in a lavish ceremony. Shortly after announcing that the WWE superstar was having a baby, Cabrera had the following to say to the messenger: "We always talked about that we were definitely going to have kids, and we both have wanted kids. We just didn't know what the right time was with everything," he shared. And then it just accidentally happened. At first we were both like, "Oh, what are we going to do?" Bliss and Cabrera are on cloud 9 and seem incredibly happy while sharing the big news with their fans. Alexa has been out of action for a while and will miss several months of television due to her pregnancy. Is Liv Morgan's injury real or fake? Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez lost their WWE Women's Tag Team Championship to Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville this week on WWE Raw. It appears that the former SmackDown Women's Champion was injured during the match. According to Wrestling News, Liv Morgan's injury appears legit as she was checked by WWE trainers off-camera. The report further stated that the 29-year-old star left the building with a sling on her. There are many details available, but trainers were seen checking on her off-camera and she was seen leaving the building with a sling on. Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez Rodriguez lost the women's tag team titles to Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green last night. This is the second time in 2 months that Liv supposedly suffered an injury on WWE television. The 2022 Women's Money in the Bank winner injured herself during a tag team match alongside Raquel against Bayley and Dakota Kai on the May 12, 2023 episode of SmackDown. It is worth mentioning that Dakota Kai also injured herself while trying to protect Liv during the match. The former NXT star suffered a torn ACL. She is expected to remain out of action for anywhere between 6 months and a year. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez headed into their tag team title defenses with the odds stacked against her. Raquel wasn't at her 100% in the match because she was kayfabe injured by WWE Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley before the bout in a backstage segment. Liv took back-to-back unprayer from Chelsea Green, followed by a stiff knee strike from Sonya Deville to cap off the women's tag team title bout. Her tag team partner tweeted out an apology to her and the fans for letting them down. WWE apparently hinted at a feud between Liv and Rhea with an altercation during the show. Hopefully, Liv Morgan's injury won't keep her out too long. Seth Rollins discloses why Vince McMahon altered his current WWE theme song. Seth Rollins has revealed that Vince McMahon altered his current WWE theme song, and some of the woes were removed from the song. The Visionary debuted at WrestleMania 37, colliding with former WWE star Cesaro in a singles match. It's currently one of the most popular songs in the entire industry, as the crowd loves singing along. Def Rebel, the company's in-house music production team, composed it. Speaking on the latest edition of Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast, Seth Rollins stated that Vince McMahon felt that there were too many woes in his theme song, and he decided that some of them should be removed. Did the song, and when I was putting the song together, I kind of had a vision for what I wanted people to do, and when we first put that song out, Vince McMahon he was just hearing it for the first or second time, and he actually took a set of the woes out, said Rollins. He didn't get the woes. He was like, that's not Seth Rollins, that's not Seth freaking Rollins. He added, and I'm like, I'm telling you, and he's like, no, number, just trust me. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll trust you. You've only been doing this for 80 years or whatever, so like, he took the woes out, but in the back of my mind, I was like, you just wait. No, they never went back in. The version you hear now is still the Vince version, but there's enough of the woes that it caught on, and so it took a while because I was a heel. The Visionary is currently scheduled to defend his title against Finn Balor at the biggest party of the summer. This will be a rematch for Money in the Bank, which he won after Damian Priest's interference. The first time the two stars faced each other in a singles world title match was at SummerSlam in 2016, which the Judgment Day member won. However, he had to relinquish the title the next night due to an injury he sustained in the match. Finn Balor still holds a grudge against Seth Rollins for what happened at the event. With the rest of Judgment Day on his side, the Prince could become the new World Heavyweight Champion. However, Seth Rollins will fight hard to ensure that doesn't happen. Do you think Finn can dethrone Seth? Sound off in the comments below. WWE accidentally reveals major Roman Reigns spoiler for SummerSlam. Roman Reigns is set to compete at the upcoming SummerSlam Premium Live event, which is highly anticipated by fans. Recently, the company announced significant matches such as Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, it seems that the company may have accidentally revealed a major spoiler regarding the plans for the Tribal Chief at the show. After the announcement on the latest edition of Raw regarding SummerSlam matches, the company updated the banner of its official YouTube channel. The banner featured superstars like Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul, Asuka, Finn Balor, and more. On the right side of the banner, a graphic featuring Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso was displayed. When the company realized the mistake, the match between Roman and Jey Uso has not been announced yet. It updated the YouTube banner once again. The new banner features only the SummerSlam logo. Despite having no official announcement yet, fans are already speculating that this match could be part of the SummerSlam card. The upcoming edition of SmackDown will feature a significant segment focusing on the bloodline. It was announced that the Tribal Chief will make an appearance to establish the rules of engagement for SummerSlam alongside his cousin Jey Uso. This segment is expected to play a crucial role leading up to their rumored clash at the biggest party of the summer. Plenty of speculation has been circling this potential match, including a possible betrayal by Solo Sikoa due to his ambitions of becoming the next Tribal Chief. There had also been reports suggesting a potential return of The Rock to WWE, with SummerSlam 2023 being a potential location for his comeback. It seems like the ongoing Bloodline saga is set to experience more twists and turns. Currently, Jimmy Uso's injury has kept him out of the storyline, leaving Jey Uso seemingly alone in his war against Roman Reigns. The former undisputed tag team champion pinned the Tribal Chief at Money in the Bank 2023. This led to the end of Reigns' historic undefeated streak in the company. The upcoming weeks will showcase the future developments in this storyline, and it will be intriguing to see how things will unfold on the road to SummerSlam.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for